Remember a few weeks back when we told you about carbon monoxide issues at Canyon Cove, a South Toledo townhome complex. Since that time, we had more complaints from a resident who says she's had multiple properties there being overrun with mice. Michael Sandlin talked to the resident who says she is struggling with mice on her property.
Yeah, that's right, Melissa. In just a moment, I'm going to introduce you to resident Tatiana White, who says that she's lived here at the Canyon Cove Villas for a little over a year, and in that time, her life has been filled with mice.
For almost a year now, Canyon Cove resident Tatiana White has been dealing with uninvited guests. The kind that chew candles, leave holes in her walls, and defecate on her children's blankets.
They got really bad. My fiance collected about 15 mice on her own. The landlord came in and pulled the stove out, and there were about 5 mice underneath the stove on traps that we bought.
White says the problem started last November of 2021 when she moved into one of Canyon Cove's villas on Firethorn Drive. At first, they only saw signs of mice, but soon they started seeing them everywhere. And as they began to notice more and more mice, she and her family started getting sick.
The air got thick. Me and my son have asthma. We had multiple trips to the hospital. Through all of this, we found out my fiance is terribly allergic to mice urine.
White submitted multiple requests for an exterminator to Canyon Cove management, but she says they ignored her until May of 2022, a whole 8 months later.
They sent Orkin and they brought paper traps, and the mice would run straight through the traps.
With the mice still running rampant, White and her family took a trip to Maryland for a month just to breathe in some fresh air and have some peace. When she returned, she knew she couldn't put her family back in that villa.
I told them that I was going to get a lawyer. I wrote a long email letting them know, and then they decided that they wanted to move me into a new unit.
White was hopeful that moving into a new unit, their problems would finally be behind them.
No. There's a mouse here now, and I don't know how many mice are here.
In fact, one interrupted our interview.
The first unit was, there's a mouse. Sorry.
And WTOL 11's cameras were able to capture it on film last Thursday.
I wonder if you lift the couch up with it.
Oh, yeah.
You saw it?
Oh, yeah.
Did it run this way, did it?
Yeah, I think it did. Back a statement, which reads in part, "We have a team of staff and licensed vendors able to handle all issues. We follow all industry standard best practices and resolve issues as quickly as possible. We use licensed exterminators whenever necessary, and any known issues, according to our records, have been handled." Now, you can read the full quote over at WTOL.com, but for now, reporting in South Toledo, I'm Michael Sandlin for WTOL 11.